4 years ago, I was browsing the internet looking for what to do now everyone is locked inside, and between pop-ups for wholesome Christian Minecraft servers and a surprising amount of hot singles in my area, I kept getting banner adverts for this game, League of Angels 3. Now at the time I didn't know that downloading a game from a banner ad was the digital equivalent of licking the floor of a dockside brothel, so after giving my PC mega cyber herpes, I made an account and logged in. It called itself an MMORPG, and I love MMORPGs, so I happily gave it a go, and it was awful, so I recorded myself playing it for an hour just to mock it. In fact, at the time I thought it might be the worst MMO ever, so I called the video that. Little did I know how wrong I was, but this would mark the start of my journey into the MMO underworld. Look at me, so young, so full of hope. I knew nothing about dark patterns or how to white balance a camera. Then they made a sequel, League of Angels Heaven's Fury, and I played that too, and that became episode 2 in the worst MMO ever series, and thus the idea to play every MMO in order to find the worst one was born. And now, 4 years on, they've made another, League of Angels Pact. So we return to the start. I've had 4 years to learn how to make better YouTube videos, and you've had 4 years to learn how to make a better game, so let's do this again, just like old times. Boy, I sure do hope this is just a bad game and not actual straight-up copyright infringement using artworks from Wizards of the Coast, Riot Games, or Arkham Horror. Foreshadowing is a literary device which is owned by H. Bomber Guy, and I would never plagiarize.
Yeah. Let's keep it that way.
Welcome, I'm Josh Stripe Hayes, and this is Worst MMO Ever, a series where I play every MMO I can find in a journey to find the worst. Drop a like on the vid or sub to the channel for more MMO stuff, and ring the bell for all the future notifications, and as always, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon who keep the channel alive. More information on how you can support at the end. For now, let's begin. League of Angels Pact is the 5th game in the social experiment about how many upgrade systems you can force into a game before it implodes. It's only 250 megabytes, so unfortunately it downloads really quickly. The screenshots made the game look quite intense, so I used Can I Run It to see if my PC could handle this, and the site just told me it was disappointed in me. Speaking of the game looking intense, this is the Steam page, and the music of the trailer is far, far too epic. Contrast that with the vast amount of the actual game sounding like this. That's not edited, they've taken Celestial War and gone with ambient cozy game music. Now the Steam page even advertises, use AFK. You see, League of Angels is basically a game which plays itself, which paradoxically makes it the perfect game for people who don't want to play League of Angels and the absolute worst game for people who do want to play League of Angels. So we download, launch, here's the world building. Ragnarok arrived. The world was in darkness. The angels fell into a curse that made them sleep, and nope, that's all you get. I didn't click, it's just timed. If you don't read fast enough, you don't get the story. That's a skill issue, that's on you. Read faster. Now choose a character and roll a random name, and my god, choose quickly, because if you don't click anything in 10 seconds, the game just picks for you and starts. More plot. Wake up an angel to fight against evil together by signing a pact with her. Go to Valhalla to find one. Then choose either fire or ice, Miquella or glacier, and now you're in the abyss killing demons. Welcome to the game. Good luck figuring everything out. I would say behold combat, but this is the entire game, so behold the rest of the video. So that's you, dude with the sword. And while it may look like I'm hacking and slashing and moving and making choices, I assure you, dear viewer, I am not, because autoplay is not currently turned on, and yet the game is autoplaying. This is the level of autoplay the game just naturally rests at when autoplay is turned off. It only gets more automated from here. So the very basic gameplay is journey through a linear corridor fighting mobs of creatures to gain experience, then fight the mini-boss of that mob and move on to the next mob. Sprinkle on so many extra systems you legitimately won't be able to remember them all, and then add in every flashy effect you can find. Now fighting a mob means either click on it or don't click on it and just wait. And then your character will fight it automatically anyway. You do unlock skills, but you don't need to use them because they're used automatically, and if you die, you just grind the previous mob for hours or upgrade one of the hundreds of separate systems to increase your general battle ranking score shown here. Higher is always better. And within 20 seconds we're told, new feature, the Divine Path. Now, this new feature pop-up will happen a lot over the next few hours because the actual core gameplay loop is clicking the new feature pop-up. The Divine Path is basically the story that you will always fall back to whenever you're unsure of what to do. It's not so much a story though as a linear selection of repeating corridors. Reach the first boss and you literally can't lose. There's no tactics, no defense, no offense, no choices. Everything boils down to your combat rating versus theirs. Watch and see who dies first. And within the first few seconds of any fight, you can always tell who's going to win by whose health is being reduced the slowest. Now maybe the game does get good 100 hours in, but if you play this game for 100 hours, they put you on a list and then send someone to check up on you in real life. Remember that narratively, we're in the demonic abyss, so either they're using the worst placeholder music they can find, or Satan stuck on his Sunday morning snooze playlist. This music also loops every 30 seconds for the entire game. Next system, upgrade your angel, and despite being a scrolling list, the scroll wheel doesn't work. You have to click and drag because despite being on Steam, this is actually 3 gacha games in a mobile phone trenchcoat. Upgrade your angel using angel currency and then get some equipment, and upgrade that using equipment currency and then equip it for no visual change because there's no room for different looking armor. They spent the entire effects budget on the never-ending visual effect dopamine bukkake of combat. We slaughter our way through the bowels of the abyss and this red demon just humps the air asserting dominance, and while all this is going on, let's at least try to break down the UI because it gets even more full later in the game. Within a few hours, this is what you'll see. Now pay attention, because there will be a quiz. These buttons are Character Portrait, click it for the barest of in-game menus. Battle Rating, Overall Combat Power. Diamonds, First Premium Currency, which breaks down into the Hot Pack Weekly and Specialty Pack, Premium Privilege, the Fund Battle Pass, which has 5 smaller funds within it, and the Diamond Cash Shop. Coins, Second Premium Currency, featuring the Welfare Hall Daily Blessing, Daily Check-In Reward, and Code Redemption, and your VIP rank from 1 to 10, which gives permanent buffs. Your 3 active combat support angels. The Become Strong button, which is a list of suggestions for what you could do to get stronger. Your current AFK experience gained per hour, and a quick teleport to the pointless main city, which is a single screen, which we'll look at later. And then, the event hall, which is daily login rewards, lottery value cash shop packs, more cash shop packs, world boss rewards, and guild rewards. The Today's Daily Gift button, which is different to the daily check-in or the daily login reward. The Mythic Quest, normal, elite, and legendary tasks to unlock a new angel. The Hot Pack, which is another button to the shop. The Specialty Pack, which is another button to the same shop. The Demon Hunter Contest, which is a reward track for the first players to kill enough demons, and then another more different shop. The 7-day goal button, featuring other even more differently daily login rewards, which aren't the same as the other 3 daily login rewards that I've already mentioned. The Shop button, which you'd assume is one of the 3 other shops we've already seen, but no, it's actually a brand new different shop selling different things, but that itself is broken down into 4 specific shops: the Mystery, Honor, Diamonds, and Feature Shop, and the Feature Shop is further subdivided into the Relic Shop, Guild Shop, or Shop Shop. I should mention, these shops all use different currencies, and each currency upgrades different systems, and so far we have encountered Diamonds, Honor, Dragon Slaying Essence, Advanced Summon Orbs, Angel Crystals, Angel Essence, Combat Packs, Angel Coins, Star Stones, Common Class Scrolls, Formation Crystals, Legendary Shards, Ungodly Souls, Refining Stones, Merits, Enhance Stones, Refinement Stones, not to be confused with Refining Stones because refining and refinement are different things, Relic Essence, Demon Hunter Star Stones, 7-day Medals, Summon Orbs, 9 different Relic Upgrade Materials, Guild Contribution, Treasure Points, and Socket Puncher Keys, all of which are collected in different ways and do different but also very similar things. And these are just the currencies that you'll experience through pop-ups in the first hour or 2 of gameplay. When I was getting these screenshots, I decided to be thorough and fully investigate the game and found 20 more currencies. Back to the buttons. The monthly card is another system. You see, the game is meant to be a card collector too. My main question is, why is the angel so high quality and the sword and shield pixelated and stretched? That's not your monitor, that's just how they look in game. The monthly card button has another tab opening yet another brand new shop all about cards. The growth support button opens another even more different shop which contains 3 different packs that you can't find anywhere else. A $200 one, another $200 one, and a $100 one. This means somewhere a high-ranking executive called up the UI designer and said, what if we had a button that literally just opens a shop that sells packs more expensive than Baldur's Gate 3? And before the UI designer could argue and say why this was a terrible design choice, the executive had approved it, sniffed his own farts, and bought another yacht made of cocaine. The first recharge button is an advert for a free gift if you buy anything, and clicking through this opens the Fund Shop, which costs $50 to unlock the Battle Pass, one of the game's many linear unlock systems. And the 70 free draws button advertises 70 free in-game gacha pulls, but it's not 70 70 free pulls, it's pay $10 and get 70 pulls, but again, not in one go. You get 10 now and then 10 every day for the next 6 days. The Divine Path we already know about, and thank God that opens the relevant screen because there are so many screens you will not remember how to get to them. But within the Divine Path itself, you've also got bossing, the world map, the Chronicle, which contains the game's lore, which I will critique later, and believe me, there are inconsistencies. Duels are player versus player, which is just biggest number wins. Trials are wave defense battles in either Daily Trial, Warrior Trial, or Angel Holy Land flavor. Worm races are just goddamn stupid, and I'll get to that later. The big boss button lets you go and fight big bosses, again divided into World Boss or Dark Realm Boss, the Dark Realm Boss being a new unique map with different movement mechanics to everything else. And the daily button is daily rewards, but don't confuse this with the 5 other daily reward systems we've seen so far in other buttons and tabs, because this daily reward button features the achievement tab, which is a list of rewards for various achievements, not to be confused with the 2 other lists of achievements which we've already seen. At the bottom you've got the territory button, which has a linear path to follow through, and then a city builder minigame where you can assign angels to do things like gather even more currency, and then the treasure hunter system for finding mythic armor, the angel summoning gacha screen featuring both normal and advanced summoning, which itself has even more brand new, even differenter shops featuring brand spanking new currency again, or the more features button, which, oh man, we will get to this soon because this is a world of actual genuine copyright infringement. Then you've got your own character screen complete with 4 systems, divine gear, demon hunts, skins and titles, themselves broken down into 2, 4, 3 and 3 submenus respectively. Inventory button breaks into 4 submenus: equipment, items, treasure, and synthesis mechanic. The skill menu goes into active and passive. The forge gives you forging, enhancing, refining, and gem imbuing, which are all different but also identical systems. And growth about getting new angels, combinations, and heroes to help you, and also feature the relic system. And finally, the angel list itself, which currently has 22 angels, each with individual upgrade systems, and the Pact system to upgrade 2 different other systems, Pact and Star Spirit, and then the Reborn system, which breaks into 4 different tabs about upgrading, recycling, and rebirthing new angels. And that's not even all of the systems. As you level up, you'll find even more. And I hope you were paying attention, because here comes the quiz. It's only one question, and the question is why? Actually, the why is annoyingly pretty simple. League of Angels isn't designed to be a game you play, it's a system that you sit through. It's a series of colourful explosions that you watch until they slow down, and then you follow the trail of exclamation marks to upgrade whatever system you currently have the currency for to make the explosions happen again. Repeat ad infinitum. It's the digital version of that child's play table that you see in dentists' or doctors' offices. Lots of bright, colourful things built quite close together. Back to the game. I unlock a basic skill. Now notice how you have 3 seconds to click the pop-up or it just goes back to the game. You can't stop this counter, you can't turn it off. I try to find a menu, I press escape, but escape does nothing because you cannot escape this. You will watch this game play by itself at this pace. You have no choice. I get told the latest server is server 118. Guess they've got my number. That's a joke for the millennial Brits in the audience. And then the narrative advances. We're told we must stop the dark dragons to save the angel continent. You see, the angels need someone to save them. The angels may be immortal, omnipotent, godlike beings of light and divine energy, imbued with the collected, concentrated, condensed magical power of aeons long gone. But what they don't have is the power to slap the shit out of someone with a sword. And that's where you come in. New feature, summon angels through the gacha minigame. Apparently they've given the Emperor of Mankind a makeover and he just looks fabulous now. So we spend some currency to upgrade our angels to level 20 and learn their ultimate ability, which just does a bit more damage. But here's a quick question. Where is my own health? I can see the green bar above my head in combat, and I can see the amount of HP each equipped item gives me on that item, but there is no health total anywhere. And I think that's quite telling about a game when it insists that you see your damage per second on the screen at all times, but has no interest in telling you your health. I earn a legendary sword and get told to defeat a boss to improve my efficiency. How? How can I get any more efficient? I've not even needed to play the game. What could you possibly do to make my experience more efficient? It's important to remember in League of Angels, you don't make any meaningful choices. Yes, I'm upgrading stuff by spending currency, but it's never at the expense of anything else. You can't build wrong or make a mistake, because to make a mistake, your choices need to matter, and they don't. New system, smelting. Smelting melts junk down into more currency. Auto smelter at VIP level 4. God, that would be efficient actually. And now the enhance system. Hold the enhance button to just spend all your currency faster. God damn, I can't get over all this new efficiency. And then the Dragonborn treasure daily dungeon. And hey, do you want to unlock a temporary bonus for only $6 to $20? Think of all the efficiency you'd gain. Just take note, this side says one-time purchase and the other side is permanent benefits, but I can't see what they are. I just see that you get more currency. New system, socketed gems. Not to be confused with gems the currency. These are gems the mechanical enhancement thing. New quest, use the gem shop. Not to be confused with the shop that sells gems, but the shop that takes gems as currency. The next quest is activate auto battle. Wait, hang on, activate auto battle. Am I not currently auto-battling? Is this not what auto-battle is? I'm not even playing. I've not clicked less since I went on a date with someone who tried to sell me NFTs.
Turns out no. While we have been automatically battling, we've not actually been auto-battling. You see, the way the game generally works is you have to kill mobs, normally 5, to light those flames to the bottom left, and when 5 flames are lit, you'll attempt the mini-boss. And with auto-battle on, this process happens automatically. However, if you die at the mini-boss, auto-battle turns itself off. What you do with auto battle off is you will endlessly automatically fight the mobs, but you will not attempt the mini-boss again. You'll just farm items and experience. You need to click on the mini-boss manually if auto battle is off, which is the most interaction the game has.
To make this system even better, unlocking auto battle isn't a one-time thing. You actually lose it every few levels and must re-earn it by beating another further along boss to turn it back on. So you can only auto battle your way for a bit. I unlock the world map and this won't matter because your location is irrelevant. There are no areas in the game that are connected in any meaningful way and you can get anywhere via menus. And then we learn about the Kali Angel. We need to rescue her and go and get the Sword of Chris. The legendary Sword of Chris. So cheers, Chris. New system, world bosses. You don't need to go and find them, they're not part of the world, you just access them through the list and click. Wait, one's called kefir. Isn't that a type of yogurt? So I Google and yeah, it is. The yogurt boss. World bosses are multiplayer social affairs, so you can admire the fun little emojis which sit above other players' heads. They don't really fit the art style though. And that made me question, what is the art style of this game? Because that will matter in a minute. Out of curiosity, I switch auto battle off and go back to full manual and try and click away from combat and try to explore the actual world, because honestly, the background graphics, the landscapes themselves are gorgeous. I really like this art style. Isometric top-down is great, but as I played, I realized this drawing of a world isn't actually the level. It's just a flat image with an invisible path drawn over it. You notice this whenever objects that are supposed to be 3D or have depth, like pillars or lampposts or trees, enemies will just walk straight over them, like everything else. You never walk behind anything. The shadows of taller objects aren't being cast by a light source within the level, they're just drawn on. There's nothing to click on the level either. You can't go indoors or pick up objects or interact with the scenery. It's just a pretty image to look at as your character moves along a predefined path. And then I realized that this mini-boss, Gaia, I've killed before, about 10 minutes ago. And then I realized I've been on this map before as well, and then I spot it. League of Angels Pact reuses both enemy models and the background maps about every 5 areas. One of the few things I actually was enjoying was watching the journey through the visuals, and now I can't unsee that it's just recycled. New Angel, the Fire Archon Mikola. New system, wake up the angels. Same as every other system, just follow the trail of exclamation marks, click on stuff, number go up. I'd love to show you an angel scroll system, but that opens up on day 6 and this server is only on day 3. That's right, I'm here early. Then a pop-up tells me 2 people just got married in the game and I can choose to send my blessing. Wait, no, got that wrong. My blessing sing. You can't make any meaningful choices in League of Angels. Send blessings is the only choice. There's no curse their firstborn or show up drunk and tell my favorite joke about a funeral option. So sure, I unleash my bless. Click absolutely everything to get rid of all the little exclamation marks, and new system, the Angel Holy Land, timed wave defense mission. So I grab my Crusader armor, equip a new angel, and go and deuce some vault. New features, dailies. For real, they're so proud of having dailies it gets its own feature reveal. Just don't confuse this with the 5 other daily systems that you will unlock. The next quest is do 10 gacha pulls, which you're given for free. You can get weapons, armor, upgrade currency, or shards of angels, which combine to unlock one whole angel like a sexy jigsaw. The gacha opening animation isn't even that good. Come on, even Alchemia Story had a decent pack opening visual. And now another new feature, PvP. As I mentioned before, there's no way this is a real player in real time, because you see a list of players, you click one, and then you instantly fight. Plus, everyone on the list is a lower battle rating than me. How? This is the earliest you can possibly unlock PvP. There shouldn't be anyone weaker than me. PvP is literally highest number wins. The only skill here is knowing what numbers are and having the ability to click the lowest one. Another new feature, guilds. Either join one or make one. There aren't that many recruiting, and I've saved up enough resources to make one, so I try to make like and sub, because I'm a YouTuber and that's the cliche. It's not even an innuendo, it's just a totally nice, family-friendly name, like and sub. But unfortunately, you can only have 7 letters in a guild name. Okay, let's just go with like, sub. Great. Now if people want to play with me, they can be a like, sub. Oh, okay, right, I see what I've done there, my bad. The next quest has us search for the angel Kali. I say search, there's no exploration, you just find where she is and go and fight things until she's yours. And this conversation tries to flesh out the characters, but Teresa? Who the hell is Teresa? Her name is Kali. It's right there above her text box. So this section begins, and unlike other levels where you can manually click away to disengage from combat or explore the background, it's entirely on rails, and clicking now does nothing, and when I fight the mini-boss, I actually lose. This is likely the first DPS check you were meant to fail, because there is no plan beyond big number better, and technically everything is a DPS check. So I level up everything I can, I refine everything, I try again, and lose again. This means it's time to grind. Boy, I sure am glad the game explained all its system to me in full depth and checked I was familiar with them before moving on. It would be awkward if I didn't actually know what to do right now. So I just travel around clicking everything and fighting whatever I can find. But hey look, each angel has a background story. Let's read one. Let's learn the League of Angels lore. Miquella, the Angel of Flame, is the younger sister of Glacia, the Angel of Frost. Their parents died in the Battle of Sanctuary. They grew up suffering from the war. Although Glacia was still young, she always protected Miquella. One day, the sisters encountered a demon army. Glacia hid Miquella and ran away to distract the demon army. As Miquella waited, she became more and more terrified and rushed out of the bushes to look for her right after the army left. She cried and ran, but she still could not find her. She felt abandoned. And we can see Miquella was born 1,200 years after the angel descending. Okay, what about Glacia's story? The Angel of Frost, Glacia, is the sister of the flame angel Miquella, whose parents died in the Grace Star War. But hang on, no, that's wrong. They're sisters. Did their parents die in the Battle of Sanctuary or the Grace Star War? You can't contradict your own lore. These are the first 2 angels you encounter. And we also know that Miquella was born 1,200 years after the angel descending, whatever that was, probably an important event. We can shorten it to 1200 AD. And Glacia was born 3,000 years after the angel descending, so 3000 AD, making Miquella the elder of the 2 by 1,800 years. But Miquella's bio says she was the younger of the 2 sisters, which means that's either wrong or time works backwards. Miquella's story then says she was adopted by humans, lost her memories after falling from a cliff, and became the leader of the anti-angel human revolutionary army, where she eventually met and fought against her sister Glacia in the battle for the angel throne. But the conflict between the 2 siblings spawned the Dark Lord, so they put their differences aside and teamed up against him. Look, I realise that literally no one on Earth has ever or will ever care about the League of Angels character lore, but at least make it consistent. And while reading the lore, I realised on all the angels, they have a comment button. And I discover you can leave in-game comments on the angels you like the most, like an old school forum post. And people have. There are entire conversations happening here. For anyone interested, Victoriana has the least comments and Glacia has the most, although she is a starter angel, so that makes sense. But take the starter angels away and the most popular is Aurora. It's nice to see she did well for herself after her Prince Charming arc. So now I've lost, I need to grind, but the game has thrown so many systems at me, I'm not sure which ones to grind or how, so I just click around a bit, kill some bosses, and after 20 minutes I try the Kali Angel quest again and then I win. But I haven't leveled up because, and it's very important you understand this, leveling up your angel's overall level is nowhere near as important as just spending the currency that you get from drops or through the cash shop in raising all of the individual systems. League of Angels is an app for people who demand bright colors, big numbers, and gentle soothing music all the time. It's sexy angel themed fireworks. It's TikTok brain weeb bait, and I can say that because I am a weeb. But no time for talking because we've got another new feature, worm racing. You select a worm or dragon by random chance, and then you join a race, which means you watch a 15-minute timer tick down while worms scroll across the screen. While racing, you can plunder and steal others' resources from their worms. This game has so many systems, and none of them are deep or engaging. It's like going to a world buffet, but everything is bland and covered in glitter. I teleport to the main city, which is just one flat big screen with NPCs standing around acting as teleports for buttons that you've already got on your UI. But then, listen, the music finally changes from chilled to actually quite epic. Surely the safe and calm music is meant to fit the city where you are safe and things are calm, and the epic battle music is for the outside epic battle where you're fighting stuff. It feels like they've switched the music. New feature, reach 150 devotion. You earn 10 devotion by completing a daily task, but I guess complete 15 daily tasks doesn't sound angelic enough. Remember when this game tried to have a narrative? Notice how this Mia map enemy model is blurry. Sometimes the bosses are just stretched and warped versions of other models of enemies or angels. New feature, the Angel Realm, a mobile-style city builder interface. Put your angels into buildings and make them do menial jobs for currency rewards. I mean, can we really spare an angel, what with the demonic invasion and all? I mean, the Dark Lord is here, the Abyss is rising, evil roams the land, we need the angelic army. Can we justify just plonking a celestial super soldier down in accounts payable and asking her to sort those TPS reports out? Finish chapter 2, off to chapter 3, the forest, which means a new series of repeating map backgrounds. I click around more, and why is the mail icon upside down? I'm sure I've seen that in a game before. Hit level 80 and another new system, the Ring of Aegis. It's just another upgradable thing. But hey, what about another new system, the Fund Reward track? From level 40 to 80, so every 10 levels, you get stuff, and then from 80 onwards you get new ranks. But you can always buy the Battle Pass and unlock the better track. It's only $50. But look, notice how it uses the word invest. This isn't an investment, it's a game. Stop trying to commodify everything. It's okay to sell a game for the fun of the game. It's okay to ask a player to pay for fun, not tell them they're making an investment in the future. You're not making your money back on this. It won't have long-term value. It's down there with Beanie Babies and JPEGs of monkeys. I just click everything shiny and then this pops up. Daily trial, Blitz, but I need to buy an item to unlock it, and my options are buy now or confirm. So my options to do I want to buy this thing are yes or yes. Thankfully, you can still just click back. Oh, you might have also noticed the experience bar at the bottom of the screen looks like it's been cut off, like I've badly edited the video, but no, that's just how the game looks. New feature, class ranking, and I have to be fair, I actually really like what they were going for here. I know, I wasn't expecting to find anything I like in this game either, but if you sift through enough dirt, you will eventually find a cool looking rock. The general way it works is your overall level is not tied to your class level, and the higher your class level, the better your abilities are. Now, there are two ways to raise your class level, either using class scrolls that you can buy in the cash shop, or you can sacrifice your overall levels to gain class experience. Now, it's not at a 1-to-1 ratio. It normally takes 10 or so overall levels to gain one class level, and even though the bonus is quite small, it is permanent in stacking. I like this because it's a systemic way to deal with potential power leveling or level creep. You are using your own gained levels as currency. It's similar to prestige systems in other games, and there's actually quite a lot you could do with this. I then discover you can't auto-battle unless you have at least 20 free inventory slots, and because you automatically pick up anything that the mobs drop, your inventory slots fill up really quickly. I assume this is to sell you more inventory space. But then you can just recycle all your junk items and oh my god, do you pick up a lot. If only there were a way to automate this. Oh, there is, just be VIP rank 4. This warrior trial button has been cut off at the start and at the end, so instead of warrior trial it says narrier tria. There's no sense of space or world cohesion here. I don't know where anything is in relation to anything else because it doesn't matter. You've got pages of world building written into your game but not bothered to actually build a world. New system, synthesize, which combines things to make other things. Well, things, doesn't matter. Just do it when you can. Like every other system, there's never a wrong choice. If you can do it, it is the right choice. If you can do something, you should. Another new system, Dark Realm bosses, a grid of fights that you just progress through. And you have the illusion of choice as the bosses are stood around from each other, but you have to kill them in the correct order, so there is actually still no choice here. Take on the first dark boss, meet the demon lord Herb. Now, combat works slightly differently in Dark Realm bosses. If you die, which you will because you gain access to the system when you are vastly underleveled for it, you can just pay 50 diamonds to get back up and try again. Now, this might seem pay to win compared to all of the other fights, but actually it's basically the same, but in this fight you're putting the money or the diamonds in mid-fight, whereas all the other bosses you put them in before the fight starts. There's no punishment for failing a fight, so you just keep throwing diamonds, money, system, currency, whatever at your character until you win. But guess what happens if you die? You don't pay the 50 diamonds to get up right now, and you let that counter just run out. That's right. You just get back up and carry on anyway. So you're not actually paying for the privilege of continuing the fight from where you were, you're paying to skip the countdown to continue the fight from where you were. New system, Demon Hunting Divine Gear, separate to regular gear, leveled up differently, different currency, all ultimately just adds to your battle rating. And then another new system, the Arena, more PvP, but this time it's called Arena instead of Duel, but this does highlight an issue with terminology in game design. The phrase Arena has already been used as a mechanical term in relation to the area you're currently in, and now it's also a specific PvP minigame. Kind of like how they've used gems to mean both the gem currency and the gem upgrade item. When you're designing any type of game, the words you use or your terminology has to be really specific, because players need to be able to explain what they want to do with that system in very specific ways. If a player were to say, take the gems to the arena, that could mean 4 different things in this game. Don't use the same word for multiple systems. So you know what, while I'm just grinding away, let's have a read of some reviews. This game is for whales only. I play it but can't exactly recommend it. Within your first 5 minutes of playing, you've been asked to buy packs of various assortments, and your entire UI screen is just going to be filled with such pop-ups. The packs are also predatory in nature, as they are constructed in such a way that you need to buy more than what you need since they fall just shy of reward tiers. In summary, it's your typical pay-to-win gacha. The average pack consists of a few items with a price tag ranging from $50 to $200 per pack. On top of that, there's about 7 or so other milestone packs running $50 a piece. The size of your inventory, 200 slots, is directly linked to your VIP level. For the curious, you'd be looking at spending thousands of dollars for only 170 more inventory slots. The amount of high-price monetization is absolutely nuts. For League of Angels fans, it is actually quite nice. One of the worst games I've played, labelled as an AFK autoplayer, yet requires something like 8 hours a day of regular attention in order to remain competitive. There's mandatory PvP, and so this game is inherently competitive and not relaxing. Many activities in this game encourage cutthroat behaviour, even toward one's supposed guild. So it seems that even within the League of Angels franchise, Pact is especially bad. Plunder some worms, win some PvP, and now another new system, refining. It's the same as enhancing, but this time the currency is green. Then I spot this more features button. I wonder what they've still got to add. So I cycle through, and they sound generic as always. The Eternal Battlefield, another Dark Realm PvP boss, the Endless Maze, the Tarot Cosmos, explore the Rune Tower, sea battles, cross-server PvP, and a new boss. But this is where I had to do some actual journalism. But something about this promotional artwork caught my eye, because I recognize this picture. Because I play Magic the Gathering, I am sure that is an Eldrazi Hedron. So I checked my own Magic collection and then did a reverse image search, and yes, it is. Specifically, it's the Magic the Gathering artwork for the Zendikar Expedition version of the card Eye of Ugin, which is owned by Wizards of the Coast, who themselves are owned by Hasbro. Now, I don't know what went on behind the scenes. Maybe Game Hollywood, the people who make League of Angels Pact, did officially license this artwork from Hasbro to be used to advertise an upcoming feature in their game. Maybe that happened. It seems unlikely, but maybe it did. But spotting one bit of artwork that I already recognize made me curious, so I reverse image searched everything. Most of these images promoting upcoming features are actually composites of 2 other images layered on top of each other with varying levels of transparency. They seem to have used one image toward the top of the screen and one image toward the bottom. Combining 2 images like this makes reverse image searching a lot harder, and the text throws it off entirely, but by clipping smaller parts of only the above image, I have managed to find a few. The promotion for Eternal Battlefield, that image is actually called Dungeon of Buddha, and it is Uncharted The Lost Legacy fan art made by 3D artist Jinju Lee back in 2019. That image of the Rune Tower, that's artwork from the Arkham Horror collectible card game, specifically the card Steps of Yggdrasil, published by Fantasy Flight Games. The cross-server sea battle is Ride the Wind and Waves by Xiao Peng, and the cross-server arena monument is Area Plan by Yao Lin. However, the League of Angels version of this has this vertical beam of light added toward the top center. The cross-server battle I couldn't find, so I took to Twitter, and all of you were the absolute legends that Carl Jobs says you are, and you found it. It's a fantasy tomb concept by artist Feng H. But the League of Angels version has these transparent swords added, 2 images combined. Now maybe all of these have been officially licensed and there's nothing wrong with this, but the most interesting one is this one, the image used for Fantasy Maze, because this image is art for League of Legends, owned by Riot Games. Specifically, it's the Frostguard Citadel art in the Visions of the Freljord section of the art gallery on the League of Legends Universe site. Now, I don't know if they have permission to use this. Maybe they do. But using Uncharted fan art, Arkham Asylum card art, Magic the Gathering card art, and League of Legends art, all to advertise features which are not even in your game yet, seems quite suspect. Honestly, letting the game just play through in the background while I was playing Amateur Detective and found those images with your help was the most fun the game has been so far. So currently I'm on 19,073 experience of my current level. I can't kill the mini-boss in front of me, so I'm just auto-grinding mobs. I just sit and let the game play, and after 30 minutes I'm up to just over 48,000 experience, but no stronger, no levels. This is why grinding alone isn't worth it. The power you gain from increasing one of the game's many systems is always more useful than just grinding. And interacting with all of those systems takes so much time and eventually so much money if you want to progress at a reasonable pace. You're not playing the game so much as babysitting numbers, following an endless trail of exclamation marks to whatever system you happen to have the currency for, making number go big, then watching the victory pop-up happen again for that tiny spike of dopamine. It's a flashy, hollow shell, hoping you'll fill it with money just so it jingles a bit when you shake it. The game even tells you your current rate of experience gained per hour, so you can do some basic maths and work out, yeah, you're about 4 hours away from leveling up, unless you make a number go up somewhere. Another 30 minutes, the mini-boss blocking my path still DPS checks me, and I still die. I leave the game running for 2 hours in the background while I go and do something better, like just staring into space for a bit, and then when I come back, I try the boss again, and I fail. So I spend 5 minutes spending all of the currency I got, leveling every system I can, and then I try again, and I still lose, but I got a little bit closer. There is no skill to League of Angels, just upgrade system, repeat. When run out of resources, grind for 2 hours again, and then repeat again. Or if you don't want to spend 2 hours grinding, spend money and get those resources now. I hit level 87 and there are 15 exclamation marks on the screen right now. 15 different upgrade systems all need my attention and I won't have to make a single choice on any of them. If there was a big button that said upgrade everything, I would click it because I'd be making the same amount of meaningful choices. But instead, I follow all the exclamation marks. I click over 100 collect now or claim or reward buttons and watch a river of currency flood into my already quite full inventory, which I can then spend on more upgrade systems, which will let me kill more mobs for more buttons to click to get more currency, and the whole shallow, sparkly process repeats like the mobs and maps and no one ever makes a choice.
Look, I'll be honest with you, if holding down the upgrade button and watching endless explosions of sparkles happen as everything upgrades without you making any actual meaningful choices, that's fine. If that's what you want, this game is going to absolutely be fantastic for you, but to me, it seems like the ultimate case of style over substance. So I end this video as the 70th highest ranked League of Angels Pact player on this server, and that is an accolade I will deny for the rest of my life.
League of Angels Pact is the 5th League of Angels game, and that sentence is damning enough. I reviewed 3 and 4 around 4 years ago, and in that 4 years, the biggest design leap they've made is choosing to use Arkham Horror, Magic the Gathering, and League of Legends artwork to advertise features they don't even have yet. Pact is an experiment in feature creep, which shows no sign of stopping. It is the worst League of Angels game, and that bar is so low it burrowed through the planet and flew into space. Download this game if you demand colourful explosions and confusing systems, or just roll around in a pile of glitter while trying to do your taxes, stopping every 5 minutes to set some money on fire. It's the same overall vibe. Cheers for watching. Another massive thank you to HBomberGuy for the cameo and the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. You can support from only £1 a month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, and our Discord. And as always, have a great day.